As more you work on yourself, you get more stones thrown by life, because life wants to get you even more stronger.
Your friends just stop talking to you because you changed, right?
There is a difference between short-term energy and long-term energy.
Or actors, let's not go too far. Actors, their real names sometimes are not what we know, right? They take new names for acting. It's important to cover all of the areas of your life. Name has a mission, first of all. And names comes from times of Adam, from first human beings to modern times when we see a lot of actors and spiritual people change their names. And I thought it's gotta be reason behind it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I truly believe that there's a reason, and I read a lot of books. I found in a lot of ancient scriptures that names were given only at times when a human being changes his heart or her heart. Okay, so the transformational moment was significant to point out with the new name, with the new role. Okay, but let's start from the scriptures. Okay,
Sure.
so what we see in Bible was happening in ancient times, in Old Testament, New Testament. We see that okay, Moses gave name to Hoshi, to and changed it to Joshua. Abraham became Abraham. Sarai became Sarah, and a lot of times in Old Testament we can see that these changes happen. And in New Testament also, Jesus gave name to Peter. Actually, it was Simon, and it became Peter. And also, it's not only about just names. Sometimes Jesus gives nicknames.
Yeah.
Okay, like to James and John, he gave a nickname, Sons of Thunder. What gives a new identity, new role to these people to go with the mission, new mission, and it follows with like a plan, let's say, for 10 years forward, what this guy is going to do, how he will get there, and how this name will help. And actually, we can relate to a lot of things that happening in modern time, and also even in Marvel, you see like Spider-Man changes his identity and he accepts the venom, the villain part of his, to 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 win some stuff over, because the normal Spider-Man couldn't do that, right? He could do it only with help of Venom, only with his dark side, let's say.
So basically what is happening is you bury your old part, you bury the old name, because this is who you are, who you were, you bury this. And in order to do this process, you need a new name, a new identity, a new persona that you are.
Yeah.
And this is what you are showing.
Actually, what I think happening, first when you're born, the parents give you a name, right? It's your name, it's your bloodline name, right? It wasn't chosen by you. You just get it, you get that identity. It has for sure a meaning, and then what happens, you grow up, you change your perception of life, you start seeing things differently, you know yourself, you transform, you become totally new person. Sometimes you go to isolation period, you learn about energies, about spirituality, and when you become aligned with your let's say new self, then you understand that no more you can be your old version and deal with the people who were accepting your previous version. Like a lot of times happens, your friends just stop talking to you because you changed, right? And you also don't care because you understand now you're totally a new person, and it's normal actually. And what was happening in like in Bible or in old um, scriptures in many religions, like in Bible usually it happened to Jesus also. He went to the desert, he was there for 40 days. He did fasting, he was tempted by devil, right? And then he came back and started his ministry. Okay, with Buddha the same. We know that Buddha's real name wasn't Buddha, right? He was first a prince, right? He was living in the castle, he didn't know about what's happening in the real world, and then he comes out to the real world, he finds his true self, he goes to all these tests, and then they give him this name, Buddha. This is like spiritual name. Again, it's not we're not saying that you should change your name or get rid of your old name. Some people keep their old and new name, like it can be John James or Sao Paulo, like it happened with also some saint in past. What we see in other books, for example, in Judaism, we know that name usually give to boys on 8th day, and they call it somehow. I think they call it Brit meal, and some Shabbat for women, for girls. Sorry. In Islam also, as I know, they give name on the 7th day, Nakika. But in Hinduism also we see it. In Hinduism it happens when you get adult, so you get your adult name. In Eastern Asia also we see, in Chinese culture, in Japanese culture.
And I think most cultures are connected in this part. In many parts, actually, you see very similarities. But the point is now, how do you do the process? You say like people should just.
If you want to understand how to do the process, we should go back to the first human times. Okay, when Adam was given this responsibility to give names to animals. Okay, so it says in Genesis 2:19, it says God gave permission to Adam, give to all living animals names. But here again, why? Yeah. Let's just think about it. Why God gave this responsibility to Adam, and what the reason behind it? Again, if you think about naming something, it's not just you give just a name, a symbol. It's about giving energy to or bringing life to that thing. Okay, it's about observing something more in a focused way and giving energy, giving more power. So whenever we name something, we create a form, a shape of it. Okay, and it gets some energy from that shape. Okay, so again, my name, for example, Edgar, comes from 10th century, because there was a king in England, Edgar the King, and it was a common name, but the meaning of the name is prosperous spear. So it's about prosperity, strength, and it's in one name. That was what actually it means. Your name, I know, is about the Lord is my God. Yeah, it translates like that. So you're probably a very spiritual person, and as I know, it's true.
It's true.
Yeah. So every name has a meaning.
You know, in Persian culture, we say also, additional to that, that when you name your child before it's born, like physically born, it will already, during the process, while it's growing and all that stuff, it will already do some influence on the child. And once it's born, this name will forever influence your direction you go, the choices you take. Not that much that it literally controls you.
No.
But it will influence you, definitely.
It influences most of the people. And I think the test is that you need to overcome that, during the life. Understand that nothing is like constant. You can change it, even yourself, you can transform. And I didn't want to talk about this in this podcast, but I remember the times when really the transformation was happening. I was feeling it in very small cell level. Okay, all my particles were changing. I was feeling that upgrade, and once it was so intense, the energy was so high, I couldn't stay awake. I just got to sleep. It was like that. I'm telling you, it was crazy. Once, when I got to some point of wisdom, I understood something really, really powerful. It was so intense. I felt it in every particle, and then I was feeling so high, and I just got sleep. Really, it happens once. I didn't told you about this, but it's crazy. So I think some of these things happens to a lot of people. They don't talk about it, but when you transform, it happens from inside. Okay, and again, it's individual with every person, and only after this transformation, biblically saying that, then after you need to go and change your name. But what happens in modern time, when you baptized, when you get baptized, the church, the priest gives you the name.
Yeah.
Usually it's some, for example, in Catholic church or Orthodox, they give a name of the saint person. Okay, but in Bible it says that you should pick the name.
Yeah, that makes more sense actually.
Yeah.
You need to know. As we discussed this last time, like for example, what I like to do is reading about the stories and see who you relate to, and then you can see who is your idol from the whatever religion, and then you can, if you relate to him, this can be your new spiritual name. That doesn't mean that you need to bury your old name. You can keep your old name, but this will be the additional, like as you said, for example, with Sao Paulo, you can add it or you just change it. If you don't want to identify as this old person anymore and you did a very radical change in your life, then you can just change your name fully.
Yeah,
But it should
and
be
you
related.
change it because you want to go for the mission, for a ministry, to do something like to do a great project, and you're getting ready for that. You take the name that, let's say, it fully empowers your mission, and you have a plan, and then you go for it. Again, it can be like a temporary role. You shouldn't take that name for all your life. Okay, like again, Spider-Man took the Venom inside. He acted on that for a certain time, and then he removed it again. Or Batman, he wears this mask, he becomes a Batman.
Yeah.
Or Superman also, when needed,
It's additional.
you can take it.
Yeah.
Or actors, let's not go too far. Actors, their real names sometimes are not what we know, right? They take new names for acting, and they act maybe better with these names.
Yeah. It really gives some energy.
So it comes from Adam times, when first time God gave this, let's say, this responsibility to Adam to see how he will handle it. Because actually, what was the idea of creating a human being? To see if the human being can, act within the creation, being as a creation, act in the creation, and to create something new. Okay, so within the creation we see some new stuff is creating all of the time. It's like a flower blossoming. So first God created a human being, and then he was given a responsibility to go and create, to give names to things. Okay, and it has a very deep meaning. And again, it comes down to every small human being in this planet. When you come to this life, they give you a name. Again, you didn't choose it, but it's your responsibility to learn about yourself during the lifetime, to pick some mission that you want to accomplish and take that responsibility. And sometimes taking a new name will help you with that. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have a mission, you can use it. If not, if you are okay with your bloodline name and you're okay being a normal being, then no need